Welcome back, guys, and we're going to dive straight in and we're going to put in a coaster, and this is a real honest to goodness coaster that's staying because as you'll see by the time we get to the end of this, it's freaking awesome, or at least I think it is. You can make up your own mind. Now this is the Flight of Angels coaster, and what I wanted with this coaster was a feeling of flying. So this is kind of it's kind of weird. I want the feel of flying, but I want to stay like relatively close to the ground and to the building. So you'll see that whilst I do put like one or two kind of raised bits, this kind of sticks to the terrain like quite a lot. But you'll see, and I found that it's actually quite difficult to maneuver the track very close to the scenery, whether it's the buildings or the rides or trees, or like there's so much stuff that can get in the way. And where it really causes you a problem is when you start smoothing the track, because if you're very close to buildings, for example, then you can have a lot of trouble with like the auto smoothing. It doesn't like to do anything because it's trying to move stuff, and if it's very close to the terrain or very close to a building, it just won't do it. Anyway, never mind that. So yeah, so this this coaster, this is the Cloud Windrunner, and so it's very open, cars on both sides, and there should be a very free feeling. So there's no floor, there's no sides to it, so it's very open. And yeah, I want to get that sensation of flying as much as I can. But we're also going to do a few tricks with this one. This is not going to be like dead ordinary. And we're coming up to one of the tricks now. Now, I did kind of work this out beforehand, which is why I'm being very precise with this, because I'm going to put in a Norwegian loop, which is going to loop underneath the path. I'm just getting it absolutely right so that it lines up with everything. And then we're going to dive down and run along the fountains again. And I've got more tricks up my sleeve, trust me. So yeah, this is now you'll notice there's no chain lift at the beginning, because this is using one of the launch mechanisms. It's not the hydraulic launch; it's the other one that I can't think of the name of off the top of my head. So yeah, this is another bit that's going to kind of go up and around. So I wanted to get some kind of height into it, like somewhere, but like most of the time I want to stay very, very close to the terrain, which you'll see that I do. And can you guess what we're going to do here? Yes, we're going to do another Norwegian loop going back the other way. This is actually now this is just the preliminary. You'll see that at the end of this, I'm going to show you like the finished coaster. And I did do a lot of work on this, a lot of refining. So I've got some surprises for you. Oh yeah, trust me, got some nice surprises for you. Now here I thought, yeah, you know, should I go over the waterfall? Nah, let's go down again. And the first time I did this, I ended up putting in a couple of corkscrews. Well, a corkscrew. But after I played around with it, I found that it just didn't work. The corkscrews are still, I don't know, they're not very smooth, the corkscrews. So I ended up replacing it with something else that I'll show you at the end. But it follows like basically the same route, but it's much refined. Let's put it that way. So here we are, just hooking it up, And then I started the process of like smoothing it all out and doing all that. But I did all of the smoothing and all the refinement kind of offline. I do a little bit of it here, but the majority I did offline. And I did about what? I don't know. I put about 3 hours into refining it. That's after I'd done this, which yeah. This took about, this was about an hour or so to put in. And then what we do next is we do some decorating, because I want the coaster ride to like show off the park. So it's kind of important to dress it up, or at least the parts that it's going round. So I thought we'd put in a nice little building for the coaster to sit inside, and I wanted to keep it the same kind of feel as the rest of the park. So I'm using like similar designs for the decorations, and yeah, I'm just hooking up the entry and the exit. And you've got to have the entry and the exit on the same side, and that kind of presents some issues, especially when you've got it raised up, because you're limited about like what you can do. And you'll see that I'm going to have trouble with that exit, because you can't get a path to go from that exit over that staircase. But I do find a solution. So here I'm just now I'm probably going to cover this up later. I didn't do it during this session. I'm probably going to put a covered area over where the queue is. Now here is where I ran into problems with the exit, but all I did was just move the exit along and it fitted in just perfectly. So I was trying to figure out what I was going to do roof wise for this, because I haven't really put any roofs on anything with the main structure. And I was like, well, so do I just have it open on top? Do I like put some pillars on the top, or do I put like a flat roof, or like what do I do? And in the end, I decided to go for a regular roof. And I must admit, I'm quite pleased with how it turned out. But you'll see when I start doing it. But now these I thought I'd add again, just to kind of keep the flavour of the buildings the same. So now I was going to put some more pillars on this, but I started messing around with it, and then I was like, yeah, do I want to go that way? Now I may do some later and add some more pillars. This is just trying out different roof ideas, and then in the end I decided to go with this. Now at this point I was really unsure about it, but as you'll see, once I've stuck a few bits and pieces on it, it actually turned out, I think, not too bad. But you are limited with these triangle pieces. So I had to use the castle effect walls, which I'm not particularly keen on. But I put some stone trim around it, and that kind of made it look all right. So I went with that in the end. And I thought I'd put a little a little apex on the roof, just to dress it up a little bit. And that helps. It's amazing how just a few little bits and pieces just to dress it up can turn like quite an ordinary building into something that looks really nice. Now I am going to have to dress up the end pieces, but I haven't done that now because I'm still thinking about exactly how I want to do it. But I did decide to put because those white walls were like, they're a bit boring, so I thought we'd dress those up a little bit. So I just thought I'd slap some of these stone fascias along it. Now I did think about doing it on the roof, but I decided against. And I thought, nah, well, we'll stick with the tiled roof, at least for now, and we'll see. Like, I'll look at it, you know, like later and see does it still appeal to me or not really, and if it doesn't, then I'll change it. Okay, so that's our little coaster building. Just a simple square building, nothing too fancy. I'm just going to decorate the holes in the ground and just, like, you know, smooth them up a little bit, widen them a little bit, and paint the terrain. And then I actually decided to do a little bit more on them, and I actually raised some of the edges up and used a combination of the granite effect and the sand just to highlight it a bit better. Now, of course, we need to kind of decorate the place with all of the foliage, because this is the Hanging Gardens of Babylon. So, yeah. Oh, here we go. I decided, yeah, I need to do a little bit more with these. So, kind of built them up a little bit, widened some of the entrances, and then little tiny touches of sand just to create those little highlights. Amazing what effect that adding a little bit of sand has to it. Now, obviously, the coaster's going along this side of the building, so I had to decorate this, and I didn't actually get this finished because this was taking me like quite a long time. How long have I spent in total on this? Oh, I don't know, 6-7 hours, maybe more, actually, thinking about it. But I gotta say, I'm really pleased with the result. So I'm carrying on that decoration of red plants around the bottom. I thought I'd throw some of those cypress trees up on that one level, and I removed some extra pillars from up on that tier where I put the trees in. And then in this middle layer, I'm just going to slap in some ivy. Now, this does need more decoration, and there are going to be statues and all kinds of things going on. But for now, I just wanted to make it look at least reasonable. I didn't want, like, totally bare walls. So now I'm just kind of trying to dress up as many areas as I can, kind of as quickly as possible. Now, I decided over here I'd do something a bit more tropical, because I've tried to avoid the tropical stuff up until this point, but I thought over in this corner I'll do some tropical stuff, but I'll mix it up so it's not the same as like the last park. So I thought I'll throw some of these little plants and whatever in there to try and give it a slightly different feel. Okay, well, we're coming to the end of the time lapse now, so do you want to take a look? You want to take a closer look at the coaster and then see all the changes that I've made? Alright, let's do it. So here is the finished coaster in all its glory. And, well, it's going to be interesting to see what you guys think. Let's actually, let's take it off pause so you can kind of see it for real. So people walking into the park are greeted with this. Let's actually get up a little bit. Let's at least get to kind of head height. So you've got these parts of the track looping backwards and forwards over this, creating these arches that you have to walk under. They're quite impressive, I think. Alright, so what changes did I make? Well, over here, remember I put in that, what did I put in? I can't remember what I put in now. Yeah, I can't remember. But I changed it to this. I put an underground cobra loop so that the top of the cobra loop sticks up over the ground, which I thought kind of worked kind of nicely. Now, obviously, there's still a lot more decoration that needs to go on, and there's going to be paths wandering around here, and there's going to be more flowers and all that kind of stuff. But this gives us, I think, a lot more of the flavour. And here's the building, and you can see this needs, I don't know, this needs to be decorated. There needs to be stuff over the top of this, because this texture just is not right at all. Now, look over here. You see all of this? Yeah, I kind of added to this ride. So we've got the initial run that comes along here. Now, this is the only part up to here that has this this booster. Oh, there you go. You can see up to here. That coaster shouldn't be open. Close it. Don't want that running yet. Actually, no. You know what? No, we will open it. Are people going to come over here? Oh, there it goes. Whoa! Actually, is that running normal speed? Yeah, it is. Oh, there it goes. Oh, man. And it goes up the top and then comes round, swings down the building. And I threw in a loop here, custom loop. And it's a very swooping, kind of soaring ride. And then this is the bit I want to see, because this is just sweet. Oh, Norwegian loop, down the hole, out the other side, and throws a corkscrew. Then goes up into this big loop that I extended. And I extended it down here a bit so that we get a good view of the fountains. Then back in for another Norwegian loop, another corkscrew, down underground. And coasts back into the station. Nice and gently. So there you go. That is the ride. Details. Well, I mean, you kind of saw this. As you can see, it's nothing special. It's just really a case of just like throwing some plants in and dressing it up. It's not going to be anything like staggering, to be honest. And the same over here. But my frame rate is starting to suffer now. Like adding all of these like hundreds and hundreds of plants is definitely having an impact. So I'm going to have to be a little careful. And that has actually created a bit of an issue with something else. And that's the lighting. Because I've actually done some work on the lighting, but I'm actually, even though I've already done it, I'm going to show you that in a different episode. But I did some work on on this area to show you like how I'm going to light stuff, and I also lit these down here, not these two on the end, but these. But you can't really see it until it's actually nighttime. The other thing that I did was, if you look down here, you can't see anything really. Oh, well, actually, you can at the bottom now because it's lit down there. That took freaking ages to do, but I'll show, like I said, I'll show you that in a different video. Now, at this point, you're probably expecting to have a ride on the coaster, aren't you? Because that's what we always do, build the coaster and then we have a ride on it. Well, not on this occasion, because I asked you in the last video, do you want to see the build or do you want to ride on it? And like, I don't know, like half of you said, oh, show the build, and the other half said, don't show the build, don't just show the ride. So what I'm going to do, there's going to be two videos. This is the build video, where you see me put it together and like I tell you about it and stuff. And then there's going to be another video which is going to have daytime, nighttime rides, first person, cinematic, all of that stuff. So so there you go. How about that for a cliffhanger? I think I'm going to get some nasty comments. I will catch you for the next episode, guys. Hope you enjoyed this. Hope you're looking forward to seeing the first person rides on the coaster. I'll catch you for that. Peace out.